Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Happy Monday to you. Happy Red Monday, I should say. Congratulations, we have better buying opportunities here today. Now, we'll talk about that much more, and obviously if you're new to the channel, keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, just love teaching people to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. We'll talk a little bit more about support and resistance levels. We're going to redraw out some Fibonacci retracement lines, and just make sure that we are overall getting the best understanding of what we can here so far with the data we have, okay? Because that's really what it comes down to when you are trying to analyze anything from a technical standpoint. Sometimes fundamentals will throw things off completely, but for the most part, Fibonacci retracement levels and key level supports and resistances are the way to go when the coins are newer like this and don't have an established history, at least not yet. The one thing we can reaffirm though, just to kind of reiterate here, for its ICO date and most recent high, we can see here right there at the range about 31,000 is roughly a good place in which the price action should continue to consolidate or bounce if we were to hit that level. Key takeaway is if, because we can kind of see the support range here so far, right there in this range where the price action wants to continue down and potentially test that level. Again, price wicked up a few days in a row there before it broke, and now here it retested that level with a wick down, so we can assume that the range between 32,000 as a round number, upwards of 36,000 is a key level support, okay? So we're going to go ahead and change that color there to reflect some positivity because that is a good place in which the price action should bounce. All right, key takeaway is should. It should. Will it for sure guarantee? No, there's no guarantees in trading, and that's just kind of the way that it goes. It's always a risk no matter what you do, but if you use good risk tolerance and good risk management, it's a different story altogether. Those are things I teach in my trading academy. Be sure to check that out, cryptocash.tech, for, if you want to become a better trader. Also, be sure to check out our Twitter giveaway here we have on our Twitter. You just need to follow, like, and retweet this post here, and you'll be eligible for a weekly giveaway to ensure that you are in the runnings for that. It's basically just a free membership there in that sense, but bottom line here is Twitter. We have tons of relevant, important information, things to keep you abreast on how to become a better trader. We also have day trades coming here as well. We got some significant rewards, or more so returns, with our trading pairs of Solana, BNB, XRP, and ETH. So some really cool stuff there. The results there are available on our Twitter. So check that out in your own time. That said, let's go ahead and jump right into the charts. We're trending right around 39,000 here. Nice little bounce off that support at 36. Once again, a rough estimate at 36. So let's talk about the big picture. Let's go to the daily first. We have some data here finally to reflect the fact that our RSI is starting to drop. Big surprise. RSI is coming down. That's just kind of the way that it goes when you come up so hard so fast, right? Now, it's a 14-day lag, so keep in mind we've only got about 5 days worth of trading because the coin's been open or ICO'd roughly 20 days ago. But the bottom line here is the price action is coming down to 50, and 50 is a common bouncing point. Coincidentally, 50 on the RSI is reflective of that 32 to 36,000 on the charts. That previous all-time high turned support, okay? So good stuff there, kind of standard indicators on the daily. When it comes to the 4-hour, we want to look at a few things here, of course. First of all, the support level here at 36 should continue to hold. If not, we got 32 to 36 as a support range. Once more, if we take a look at the RSI, we are underneath 50 on the RSI. Never a great thing, or a great thing. It's never a great thing, but it's also positive in the sense that we know that we're on the wrong side of the tracks there, but we're above a support level on the larger time frames. So to me, that's more positive than negative. Yes, we have room here to continue lower. That could put us down to 32,000 if we test 30 on the RSI, but we need more volume in order for this to maintain. You can see money is flowing out of this coin, and that's effectively putting us in a position where the price action could come lower. Okay, so we want to be ready for it. My grandpa always taught me to expect the worst and hope for the best, right? Now, hope doesn't have much room in trading, but if you expect the worst, that's the most important thing. That's why it comes first. So make sure that you expect that the worst case scenario could be down lower than the current price point, but we can also hope that obviously the price will bounce from here. But once again, try not to hope too much. This is not the world of the industry to be hoping, okay? That's why we use technical analysis to increase our odds of success. I like to look at the analogy of, if you are a gambler and you are in a casino, the house always wins, right? You're regarded an immediate disadvantage. Well, the house will always win in trading too, unless you take good risk tolerance, good risk management, and good technical analysis. You can sway those in your favor and become the house, okay? So those are just little analogies I like to kind of describe there. I talk about that in my trading academy, of course, but regardless of that fact here, Wojak is looking like it wants to bounce just based on the current price point where we're at now. Let's take a look at smaller time frames and identify, because once again, we're generally bearish on the 4-hour, okay, and that'll translate into a bearish daily if we don't turn things around. So the hourly is an important thing to kind of reverse things around, if you will. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick peek here at a few key indications. Now, it does look like we're overextended to the downside. We hit a 9 on TD sequential here recently, and then we kind of dropped off, hit a 5, another 5. So you could argue that that is roughly 2 full trading days worth of continuation of the downside. Okay, so we came down here starting Sunday, May 7th, and here we are partway through the day on May 8th. Okay, so maybe that's a little bit more like 24 to 48 hours in that range, but generally speaking, we can see a continuation of the downside here. Now, why that's relevant is the fact that we are overextending ourselves twice, almost, if you will, and that shouldn't continue much lower based on that sentiment. Because again, when we take a look at the RSI, we're bouncing off of 30 on the RSI on the hourly, and then generally speaking, if we look at the cloud, we're going to be well below the cloud. Okay, so this really tells us that if you have a short position open, you want to keep it open. So I wouldn't recommend taking a long into this at all. But what I would recommend is if you're considering dollar cost averaging and you want to hold this coin for a long time, then somewhere between 32 and 36,000 would be a good buy. We're fairly close to that right now at 38. So again, if you're a dollar cost average kind of person, maybe now would be a good call, but it does imply that we're going to see further downside here based on everything we've looked at so far. Okay. The only thing that's positive is a daily RSI at 50, and I wouldn't put a lot of hope into just one indicator on one time frame. We want to take a lot of different time frames with a lot of different indications of what's going on. And right now, most signs point down. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that too. Worst case scenario, what were to happen if we were to continue this trend? Okay, so first of all, if we look here at our wonderful Elliott wave, it kind of just tells us a little bit more about the fact that we've had our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern, essentially establishing higher highs and higher lows until it hit its highest point. We're obviously in the downtrend. We've came down to its lowest, most recent point, our A, which is essentially a lower low, and we got a lower high at B, and now we're lower low at C. Okay, so this is coming to fruition completely. The bottom line here is that is this going to be the bottom? And that's what we don't know yet. Okay, that's why it's a dotted line, not a solid line, because we haven't effectively established a higher low yet. Okay, so we need to establish a higher low. So in order for this to reset itself and to truly find its bottom, this next low needs to be higher than this most recent. This most recent here. Okay, that's how you reset the pattern. And then at that point, we could very well see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an A, B, C again. Okay, that's generally what we're looking for. Right now, at this point, it hasn't fully closed yet, or we haven't established that higher low yet, so we could still very well see further downside. So to me, when I see all of this, plus the fact that we're underneath the cloud on the hourly, I'm just really at this point expecting the price action to continue to stay where it's at for some time or drop a little bit further to that support range and then see a potential bounce from there. So I'd be more interested in taking an entry right around 32 to 33,000. That's me personally. I'll go ahead and set an alert for that range to kind of get notified when that happens. Keep in mind, when I set these alerts, I don't just jump in and buy those dips. Obviously, if it's a dollar cost average target, it's a different story. That is a DC target range, but am I investing in this coin? Maybe not, right? I gotta wait to find the right price. And I'm a patient trader personally. I think a lot of folks are a little more hasty, if you will. And in this market, you want to be patient. Yes, you can miss opportunities, but you can also find some really good ones too. And I prefer to get in when the going is good instead of trying to buy the dip and it keeps going down, right? Get that confirmation, get what you're looking for, and make sure you make a well-informed decision. I hope that makes sense for you, and this was just a good descriptive way of understanding things. If you want to learn a lot more, again, cryptocash.tech is a site linked down below. It looks a little bit like this here. We got our trading community indicators. Obviously, everything's available on our homepage there, and help us grow our Twitter community too. If you could, please jump on over there, like, follow, retweet, the whole 9 yards, especially this one here if you want to be eligible for a free 1-month membership through our Twitter giveaway. Really cool stuff. Check that out in your own time. Thanks again for working with me. Hope you have a great rest of the day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.